On today's Toy Spot, we're going to be having a look at G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, Shana, Scarlet O'Hara. This again comes to us from the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra set. Originally weren't available in Canada, at least the later waves here. However, recently they've started filling the Walmart shelves and Toys R Us shelves with these guys, and I was very much looking forward to getting the Scarlet from the later wave. There was an initial Scarlet that had the gray camo attire. However, her hair was back, and I don't really think it did the character very good justice. I much prefer the hair down. So again, as soon as this figure came out, I picked her up, and we'll do a review of her now. Before we actually look at the figure itself, we'll touch base on the package here. On the side, we've got a nice picture of Scarlet here. And I know a lot of people didn't care for the actress that they picked for Scarlet in the movie. I liked her. She's certainly pleasing on the eye. Oof. I've lost my train of thought. I was too busy looking at Scarlet here. But aside from the Scarlet on the side, the packaging is the same as all the others. And on the back, the other characters in this wave is we've got Conrad Duke Hauser in the suit he wears later into the movie. It's not the camo from the first wave. We've got Snake Eyes in the hooded jacket. We've got Scarlet, as I'm going to be reviewing her here. Cobra Commander, we've got the unmasked Storm Shadow, and then we've got the Ice Viper. The Ice Viper is the only character really that doesn't appear in the entire movie. Obviously made up for the toy line. I think if anything else, I probably will pick up. I will also pick up the other two figures, and this figure I probably will say. I'll probably say no. I probably won't pick him up. But the file card on Scarlet here says the G.I. Joe's Team Intelligence Specialist Shana Scarlet O'Hara is also an accomplished warrior. Descending from her zip line, she defends an embattled desert convoy. Her reactive impact armor protects her from weapons fire as she battles with speed and skill. Her preferred weapon is a 15p laser-guided solid alloy compound crossbow with scope. That was quite a mouthful. But there you have Scarlet and her file card. What we'll do is we'll get this package opened and we will get a closer look at Scarlet. So stay tuned, guys. While I'm not 100% happy with the price point for these figures, the price point for these G.I. Joes, at least in Canada, is usually about let's say about $9.50, $9.78 for these figures. And certainly inflation and everything else, but growing up, G.I. Joes were about $3 to $5, usually about $3 something. And I will say, while it's a shame that for a G.I. Joe, and it's a shame that they're not closer to like $5 rather than $10. I think $10 is really expensive for figures that are of this scale. And I think I might have said this point quite often during my reviews, especially with like the DC Universe figures, or the Infinite Heroes, Infinite Heroes, and then the Marvel Universe figures, being that they are of smaller scale. I really wish they were closer to a $5 price point rather than $10, and it just seems like $10 is a lot for a figure of this size. However, I would say it's a really nice figure overall. The one problem, and I didn't realize this at the time I had bought the figure, but I think you can make it out here. I've got just a slight, I don't know if it's a bit of plastic on her face, but it looks like she's got like a little cut. And aside from that though, a really nice looking figure. And I think I started saying earlier before I got off topic about the price point, but one nice thing about the G.I. Joe figures, the Rise of Cobra figures, is that they do, for the size, they do look a lot like the actors and actresses from the movie. It does look like the girl that played her. So I think they did a great job on that. Now she's got a peg hole in the back that she would normally be able to hold a backpack, but as you can see, her hair is covering it, so it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to get a backpack on this figure. But as you can see, really nice detailing. She's got the nice black and the gray, but I mean, the paint wash on it is really nice. And as you can see, she's even sporting the G.I. Joe logo up on her shoulder here. Couple of things. She has certainly a long list of accessories that she comes with, but what's nice though, she also has a holster that can hold a weapon. So she can hold she's got a pistol here, and we'll just put that into place here. But it's nice that she had that. She also does come with a secondary handgun. However, the only downside to all her accessories is that there is no place on her that can hold the extra weapons. You know, would have been nice if she had a second holster on her leg or something that she could hold this handgun. But unfortunately, no. She also does come with, and I'll just put her down for a second, she also does come with her crossbow, which as you can see is two separate pieces. You just have to clip the two together here. It's not a secure fit, unfortunately. There's a very small pin or a very small clip that clips the two together. So I'm hoping that that's going to stay on and not give me too many problems. But we can have her holding her crossbow here. And I mean, certainly if you're going to have her on display, you probably will want to keep her, you probably will want her holding her crossbow, because I mean that to me is Scarlet. Now she also does come with what I think is kind of silly, and I'll put her down again just so that we can have a look at it. I have one other gripe with this figure, and I'll get into it after I touch base on this. You know, I'll put her over here for a second. She does also come with, if you've seen the movie, at the very beginning of the movie, when she comes, what's the word I'm looking for? She comes down in the beginning of the movie on a cable, and you can actually have her wearing this. You put her arms in here, and you can actually have her lowered down by this rope, and the rope also splits off. And she's also got the hook. I guess you can have it land on the ground, and she can be lowered down. This missile can also fit into this course. You know, the whole Rise of Cobra, they got to have firing missiles. So Scarlet does come with a firing missile bazooka. I won't level. I'll level with you guys. I'm not going to have this on the figure. To me, it seems like extra waste. I mean, if it turns out that this is the reason why we pay $5 or $10 for the figure, $5 more because of these firing gimmicks, I would say leave the gimmicks completely out of the packaging. But she does also come with a file card, kind of chip card dog tag, which also is a stand for the figure. As you can see, it says Scarlet on the front there, and on the undersiding you can see the Cobra or the G.I. Joe logo. Now my one problem with this figure, and if you look at the pegs here, if you see the size of the pegs, and look at the size of her foot, see the hole in her foot? It seems to me that it seems smaller, the hole in her foot seems smaller than the peg. So I've really tried to force this foot onto the peg, and I might actually have to keep working it to get it in there, but it doesn't seem like, it seems like I'm gonna really have to work it to get that open, because it seems like her hole is a lot smaller than the peg on the stand. So that's the one reason why I couldn't have it on display when I was starting this review, is just because of that problem. Kind of wish the hole was a little bit larger. If anything, you could lean to the side of being bigger than smaller. Now in the way of her articulation, much like every other G.I. Joe, she can rotate her head, but you're not going to be able to rotate it very much because, again, the hair is a big problem. Like, you're not going to get any movement. She has articulated shoulders. You can bend the arm at the elbow. You can also rotate the hand. You can rotate the waist, and you can move the leg in and out. She has 2 points of articulation in the knee, and she can also bend at the foot. So, I mean, lots of articulation. You can also rotate the feet as well. Lots of articulation. Just a real shame, though, that I can't put her on display as of yet. Again, I'm going to have to kind of really get really going to have to work the leg to get it in there. But I'm really happy, though, with this figure. I'm really happy that I picked her up. And I picked up a handful of G.I. Joes, a small handful. I'm kind of hoping maybe, you know, if I can see the price go down a bit on them, I might pick up a couple more. I definitely will get the G.I. Joe figures that were in the movie, the actual characters. Characters like Ice Viper and stuff I'll pass. But I would highly recommend this. If you like G.I. Joe and you like the movie, now that this wave is now in Canada, pick it up and definitely pick up Scarlet here. But there you have a toy spot on the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra Scarlet. And this is the more updated attire that she wore later into the movie. But hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.